Hi, this is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. We are talking about market rates today. If you can see this small screen on the side, everything is blue. But let that not scare you because that's only inbound loads. What you want to see is outbound loads. So outbound loads to look a little bit better. But if you compare it to last few weeks, everything here on the bottom right was red. Now we have neutral markets, yellow, orange, light green. As you know, the darker the red, the better it is. So if we remove this here, we can see the better and bigger picture. And this is for van loads. If you go to flatbeds, flatbeds are doing okay still. And reefers are also doing better than vans, slightly better. So right now, if you want to get into the game or if you want to switch a trailer, the best way to go right now is flatbed. Midwest also, if you look at Michigan here, West Michigan, where I am, and even Wisconsin, it used to be much better. So Southeast looks pretty much the same except for Florida. Florida was also better last week, but now all you want is Georgia's and Carolinas, Tennessee here. That's where you want your trucks. Dallas here. You can go to Dallas for a cheap rate. It's going to be tough finding something really decent to go to Dallas, but from there you should be okay. And then California is still doing okay. Now let me go to the next screen here. Here we see national rates updated today, and they did not include the fuel surcharge here. So this is a spot rate without fuel surcharge. This is the national average. With fuel surcharge right now, it's 2.05, as you can see right here on the upper left corner in this little pop-up window. But what's interesting here is that they have these, the color blue, this is contract rates, and they have been around 30 to 40 cents higher than the spot rates. But since most of us who are on load boards deal with spot rates, that's all we care right now. But if you look at this here, May shows that the rates were better than in April. Now, this might have been due to the fact that we had the inspection week, and in that inspection week, in May, we were all very excited for that, but the thing is, after that, everything crashes, and after that, everything goes down. Now it's beginning of the month, June 2024, and this week has been really bad. I mean, there are no loads, and if you call a broker, they're gonna say this load has 3 deliveries. It picks up late. It's heavy. All kinds of like $250,000 cargo, driver unload. We can't use you. Whatever the case may be, and then on top of that, they tell you it's like $1.50 a mile. And yesterday I posted a truck, and I in the comment section, what I wrote was I need at least $2 per mile. Don't call me if you don't have that. We also need to make money. We cannot do any favors to you. That's what I wrote. I can't do any favors to you. I can't work for free. Don't call me if you have anything under $2, because if you have a company and you pay your driver like 60 and or like a lot of drivers right now will ask for 70 cents per mile or even more, but you pay a driver 65, let's say that, and your fuel is also 65 cents per mile, and then you have other things, your other expenses, the maintenance and the permits, and even if you have payments, then it's just like there is no point. At that point, you are not running for free, you are losing money. But enough of renting. Let's go to the next screen here. This guy from DAT, according to a professor, Jason Miller, a supply chain expert, trucking companies need more good news as demand remains weak. The latest release of the for-hire trucking ton, mile, and revenue indexes based on output across 41 freight industries showed March seasonal adjusted ton mile reading decreased half a point, 0.5 percentage from February, but remains down just over 1% year over year. So there you have it, it's still going down. Now here, this is a weekly snapshot by numbers. And this here, to me, I made a video the other day how you can't really trust DAT with their data, but I guess you can kind of see what's going on and you can kind of follow the trends. So these numbers here, you know, like, I don't know. Let's just go to this screen. Okay, so this is more in detail. So this is van demand and capacity. So this is from May this year, and the orange states here are 5.5 and over as far as load to truck ratios go. So that's pretty okay, right? Now this here is not okay, 2.6 to 5.4, and then 1 to 2, 0 to 1. So these states here did not do well at all. But now, okay, well, we have a good load to truck ratio. I mean, it's better than the rest of the country, but still these loads are paying cheap. So what does it matter to me? I'm just gonna send my truck there and I can, you know, at least book a load. That's what, you can do that, but the load's still gonna be cheap. All right, but if you send, like we had a truck yesterday in northern Ohio, there are no loads out of there. Like these loads are cheap, but there are no loads, and whoever you call, you can't get to them. You can't even negotiate. So I guess it's still better to send your truck down south. At least you can book a load, even though it's a bad load. But this here is very interesting still. Yellow is this year, and we have green is last year, and the red is that famous year where we made a lot of money. And if you look at January of 2022, the van load to truck ratio was still okay, and we'll go over reefer and flatbed as well in a minute. So van, and then it suddenly went down, and I remember this. I remember it was when we got the news that, you know, that Russia attacked Ukraine. That same day, that same week, the fuel prices went up, and I started making these videos saying, hey, prepare for the worst. This is not gonna be good. And, you know, we can blame this on COVID, that there was a lot of demand, and a lot of warehouses were empty, and we had to get them all their freight. That's why they were paying a lot. And then everyone started buying trucks and adding more trucks. People who never been in trucking industry, they started going to the trucking industry because they thought, okay, I'm gonna go there and make some money. And yes, that's a fact. But then the minute that war started, everything started falling down. So to me, I don't know, that had to do a lot with this. You can see that right here. This is when it happened. It just went down, and it kept going down and down and down. And then the rest of the year was somewhat okay. But if you look at these charts, to me, it still doesn't make sense. For example, now if you look here at, for, you know, the last month, May 2024, the van load to truck ratio was just over 4. All right, so 4 loads on one truck. But if you look last year, it was worse. all right? According to this, it was worse. But rates were still better. Now, if we look at the rates, we're going to go to the next screen, you will see that they say that the rates were kind of same. They were not. The rates were much better. We were able to book better, way better loads last year. No one can tell me that, because if you look at, like, we were all complaining in last November and December and even in January, we were all complaining how everything is going down, everyone is going to die, everyone is going to shut doors. But look at the situation right now. Now we kind of wish we were back, in that time, because back then we could still book some decent loads. All right. So according to this, we had the same situation, which, in my opinion, that's not true. Let's go to the next screen here. Now, these are the rates. So that's what I'm talking about. So this is the current situation. National van rates are at this point where we are just around $2. From what I've been seeing this week and last week, it's way under $2. It's way under. Only if you go to East Coast from like Midwest or from Southeast, you could get a load that's paying over $2, well over $2, sometimes even $3. But the problem is, every time you call on this load, they're gonna tell you it's gonna be 2 or 3 or 5 stops, or it's gonna deliver in 2 days, or it's gonna be a drop trailer. Something is off with this load. So these loads, DAT will take them into account when they calculate their average rates. But these are not true loads that are truly paying that much, and it's not like the average rate is way under $2. It's way under $2. That's what everyone has been seeing right now. You could book a load. I'm not saying there are no loads. There are loads, but you have to be in the right area at the right time. You have to be a good negotiator. You have to call really quick to book that load before someone else takes it. Sorry. So you can book a load, all right? But it's very tough to do it, and an average dispatcher at an average time, and especially if you have like 10 trucks to cover, there is no way you're going to be able to give everyone those best loads. All right, that's not going to happen. You can brag all you want, because I see a lot of people bragging, like this one guy about C.H. Robinson, how he books great loads with C.H. Robinson. C.H. Robinson is the best. I'm not saying C.H. Robinson is bad. I'm saying they have so many restrictions right now that it's tough to book a load with them. And on top of that, they're just average and maybe even under average. All right. Van rates. So if you look at the van rates, this is June right now. And again, we're looking at the spot rates. So spot rates, 2.05 right now is the average. That's what they're saying. And I disagree. I strongly disagree. But if you look at May, now June, I mean, it's like we've been 6 days in June right now, into June. And like, it's tough to give an average out. But based on those 6 days, okay, that's fine. But May, 2.02. And we did have the inspection week, and we had more loads, and we had better paying loads. And we have the whole month to take into account when we do the average, but now we only have 6 days, and these 6 days have been really bad. This week has been really bad. So how can you tell me that the average rate right now is 3 cents better as opposed to May? I don't know. But then if you go back, like, okay, December, January, February, we had a slight uptick in June. Everyone hoped that this is it, like it's going up. Because, it went up, look at this, 8, 11, 15, and we're like, oh man, this is good, and then it goes down again. This had to do, I think the Fed were about to raise the interest rates, but they didn't, or no, lower the interest rate, sorry, but they didn't. So, it went down again. But if you look at June and July last year, they're saying that the spot rates were, and I'm assuming this is for last year. I mean, it doesn't say here. It doesn't say this is 2023 or 2024 right here. I don't know. I'm assuming. But this, I don't know, this cannot be right. I mean, you tell me. Maybe I'm missing something. All right, let's go to flatbed. Now, flatbed, look at this 18 plus load to truck ratio. Yeah, if you're in flatbed, you're hustling right now. And flatbed is doing okay everywhere. And if you look at the rates, we'll take a look in the next screen at the rates. You're gonna see that it's they're been doing good. But if you look at look at this 86, come on, like 86 loads per truck. Oh man, that's 2022. But notice, like if you go to back to a van here, look at this. It started going down in February 2022, March and April. It was on the bottom in April. But if you look at the flatbeds, look at this. They were okay until May, and then in May it drastically started going down. Now, what happened? Summer is a building season. Maybe everyone got their building materials. I don't know. But then it went down and it kind of went all the way down here, like almost the same with vans. And right now, it's showing that it's doing better. All right. So if we go to the next screen, we'll see these rates are not bad at all. Like, if this is correct, like it's like 2.5 on the average for flatbeds in the whole country. So doing a flatbed, not a bad thing right now. I mean, it's not good. It's not as like it used to be, but it's better than everyone else. And then here we have the flatbed rates. So you see like 2.5 around that, and it's kind of going up a little bit here. So it gives me hope. Then I also want to mention this here. Now, if you look at these lines, they're all like the last 3 years, they look like they're same. But this yellow line, it has to go drastically up. We have to, by the end of the year, September, October, November, if we don't see it at least here, that's not gonna be a good sign. If it keeps doing this, then like the next year, I'm afraid it's gonna be the same. I'm just afraid that it's gonna be the same thing, same with the flatbeds. And now let's go to reefers. So reefers right now, the load to truck ratio is better than drive-ins. 12 plus drive-ins were 5 plus. That was the best one. Still doing worse than flatbeds, but reefers are doing okay, according to this. Now, you have to follow the seasonal freight. That's definitely the thing. And right now, it's going up a little bit here as far as the reefer load to truck ratio goes. Because if you see here in February, it was bad. March, it was same as drive-ins, and that was fascinating to me that you could find a better load for a drive-in and easier if you're in these regular areas that don't have seasonal freight. Like if you don't follow the seasonal freight, you can find a load for a van easier than for a reefer. You would have to go to specific states to get better loads for a reefer. But right now, this is giving me hope for reefers. And of course, reefers, like it's summer season is coming, they're gonna need more cold loads, and fruits and vegetables, meats, people have to eat. And I did also read an article on DAT. They were saying that the food demand is gonna be even weaker this year. So food was giving me a lot of hope. Like if you go to DC's, Aldi's, Sam's Club, Walmart, and if you bring food, people have to eat, then you would be busy. And that's the thing with reefers. They mostly work with food. And if people are not buying food and eating and trying to save money on food, then we're all in big trouble. Flatbeds have to do a lot with construction. Now, the housing markets have been really doing well. Everywhere you go, everyone is building something still. You know, that started during the COVID season, and now that's still the case. You can't find a house. If you want to buy a house, it's going to be tough. The rent is high. Um, like if you go to Lowe's, you see a lot of like right now mulch season. There's a lot of mulch. Every Lowe's, every what's the name, home improvement store, they have a lot of seasonal freight that comes in on flatbeds. So if flatbeds go down towards the end of the year, like after this season, then that's going to be boring. All right. And these are the flatbed rates. As you can see, they've been steadily around 2.5. Here at the beginning of the year started coming down, but that's normal because it was winter and spring, and now it's slightly going up. So we'll see what happens with that. Thanks everyone for watching. This was my update for this month. Come back for more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys around.